gasp at the right times, and you can hear people crying at the right times. I mean, as a filmmaker, like, it's all I could ask for.
There's no better.
Allegations surrounding Blake Lively continue to intensify, with critics increasingly questioning whether she has been truthful about the events at the center of the dispute, while speculation grows over whether Taylor Swift's careful positioning reflects sincerity or a strategic attempt to protect her own carefully curated public image. At the same time, Blake Lively's PR team has gone into overdrive, emphasizing that the unfolding legal conflict has taken a serious emotional toll on her personal life, with sources close to the actress claiming that the lawsuit brought by Justin Baldoni has caused both Lively and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, severe emotional strain and ongoing distress. Media reports describe Lively as emotionally depleted and mentally overwhelmed, yet still outwardly confident and determined, suggesting that behind the scenes she is grappling with the mounting pressure of public scrutiny, legal uncertainty, and relentless headlines. Despite these appeals for sympathy, Baldoni's legal team has dramatically raised the stakes by revealing that if Lively refuses to settle the case, Taylor Swift could be subpoenaed and required to testify in court, a move that instantly sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. This development is not merely a legal maneuver but a pointed declaration that accountability must outweigh celebrity privilege, signaling a refusal to allow star power or influence to shape the narrative. Unchecked, Baldoni's team has remained unwavering, insisting that the full truth be brought into the open regardless of status, reputation, or industry connections. Meanwhile, Blake Lively, an actress long associated with high-profile roles and frequent media attention, appears to have escalated the situation to extraordinary levels, fueling criticism that the conflict has shifted away from resolution and toward a battle over optics, reputation management, and public sympathy. As a result, Taylor Swift, widely regarded as one of the most calculated, intelligent, and media-savvy figures in modern entertainment, now finds herself unexpectedly pulled into a volatile, high-stakes legal storm that threatens to disrupt her carefully controlled public narrative. Observers have noted that this case has captured global attention not simply because of the celebrities involved, but because it appears to expose a troubling misuse of influence unfolding in plain sight, raising broader questions about power, credibility, and accountability in Hollywood. As the fallout continues to grow and public interest shows no sign of fading, Swift appears to be deliberately stepping back from the controversy to limit reputational damage, reinforcing the larger message that this dispute is not merely about celebrity drama or personal alliances, but about protecting creative integrity, demanding transparency, and ensuring that exaggerated or misleading claims do not ultimately drown out the truth. Every detail of this unfolding case is now being examined under a microscope, with every action, statement, and motive relentlessly questioned, laying bare Hollywood's long-standing obsession with spectacle, narrative control, and media-driven drama while reinforcing the uncomfortable truth that facts should always outweigh theatrics. The controversy reached a critical turning point when Justin Baldoni's legal team made it explicitly clear that, if Blake Lively refuses to settle, Taylor Swift could be legally compelled to testify in court, a revelation that instantly transformed what some tried to frame as a private dispute into a public industry reckoning. This is not a trivial disagreement over artistic preferences or creative direction, but rather an allegation of calculated interference and attempt to exert pressure on creative decisions for personal leverage and strategic advantage. Baldoni, an actor and director widely respected for championing creative freedom, ethical storytelling, and artistic independence, now finds himself caught in an unusually high-stakes legal storm that threatens to redefine his career and expose uncomfortable truths about how power operates behind closed doors. The reported pressure to alter scripts, reshape narratives, and influence production choices goes far beyond differing visions and directly challenges the integrity of the filmmaking process itself, raising serious concerns about how easily authenticity can be compromised when influence and personal agendas take control. Baldoni's legal team is using the possibility of high-profile testimony as leverage not for spectacle, but to demand transparency and accountability, aiming to expose what they claim are manipulative tactics, quietly deployed behind the scenes to silence opposition and control outcomes. By involving someone as globally influential and widely respected as Taylor Swift, the case underscores just how serious the allegations are, while also highlighting how dangerous it can be when personal relationships and power dynamics intersect with creative projects, placing careers, reputations, and the credibility of the art itself at risk. Every move is now being dissected in real time, with audiences worldwide watching closely and questioning what might have happened if these actions had gone unchallenged. As critics argue that Baldoni could have been marginalized, professionally erased, or quietly cancelled without any opportunity to defend himself. This production has now crossed into completely uncharted territory, and Baldoni's bold legal maneuver sends a clear and unmistakable warning to the industry that no individual, no matter how famous, protected, or influential, can manipulate narratives indefinitely without consequences. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift, celebrated not only for her cultural impact but also for her sharp business acumen, strategic discipline, and unwavering commitment to her craft, has made a deliberate decision to step back from the escalating chaos surrounding Blake Lively. After years of carefully building and protecting her public image, Swift appears unwilling to be drawn into a spectacle fueled by emotional manipulation, public sympathy campaigns, and media frenzy rather than verifiable truth. Instead of reflexively defending a personal association whose claims are increasingly unraveling under legal scrutiny, she is choosing to prioritize integrity, accountability, and long-term credibility over short-term loyalty. Her decision sends a powerful message within an industry that often rewards silence and complicity, reinforcing the principle that true loyalty never requires abandoning one's values, and that standing for truth even when it is uncomfortable matters far more than standing with influence for the sake of convenience. Taylor Swift is now pushing back forcefully, with her team wasting no time over the past 12 hours to shut down any association with the controversy, especially following a newly released TMZ article that made her position unmistakably clear. Swift wants absolutely nothing to do with the case and has drawn a firm line, signaling that she is unwilling to be dragged into a situation she views as unnecessary, damaging, and rooted in drama rather than substance. In distancing herself, she is not quietly stepping away but openly calling out Blake Lively's actions, making it clear that she refuses to gamble her hard-earned reputation for the sake of someone else's escalating narrative. Taylor's calculated withdrawal from the growing chaos surrounding Blake Lively is not an act of betrayal or disloyalty, but a strategic recognition that becoming entangled in exaggerated theatrics and unproven claims could undo decades of disciplined career building and credibility. By choosing to step back, Swift sends a powerful message that when sensationalism begins to overpower facts, protecting one's values, integrity, and legacy must come first. Her stance not only safeguards her personal brand but also serves as a broader call for a more rational, evidence-based approach to conflict resolution in an industry that too often rewards spectacle over truth. Meanwhile, Blake Lively's camp appears to be charging headfirst into amplified theatrics, instead of pursuing any meaningful path toward justice or resolution. Once celebrated as a red favorite with a carefully polished public image, Blake now appears to be overreacting, turning what could have remained a contained dispute into a highly public and increasingly chaotic spectacle. Her allegations of harassment and manipulation have yet to be supported by substantive evidence, leading critics to question whether the underlying motivation is less about accountability and more about reclaiming attention in an industry where her influence may be fading. By repeatedly dragging Taylor Swift into the situation and seemingly pushing for a dramatic courtroom showdown, Blake's actions come across as attention-driven rather than in stark contrast. Justin Baldoni's position remains rooted in concrete legal arguments and principled creative reasoning, where Blake's narrative increasingly resembles a frantic attempt to stay relevant bordering on performative drama. Baldoni appears focused on defending his professional work, creative autonomy, and personal integrity. As the dispute continues to unfold, it is becoming increasingly evident that the exaggerated claims and emotional appeals coming from Blake's camp are not strengthening her position but actively eroding her credibility, ultimately weakening her case in the court of public opinion as well as in any legal arena.
Helping us from the other side, it was, I think, to this day, one of the best experiences of my life.
Once upon a time, Taylor Swift and Blake Lively were widely viewed as the ultimate Hollywood besties, a friendship that appeared rooted in authenticity, mutual support, and highly visible public solidarity. Their bond symbolized the ideal version of celebrity alliances built over years of shared success, collaborative moments, and carefully curated appearances that suggested genuine trust and loyalty. However, as the current legal storm surrounding Blake Lively intensifies, the fractures in that once-admired friendship have become impossible to ignore. Taylor's decision to step away is not driven by personal animosity or emotional fallout, but by a calculated, principle-based choice to protect her integrity and long-term credibility as Blake's increasingly exaggerated claims dominate headlines and fuel public controversy. What was once a solid foundation of red carpet moments, collaborative projects, and open displays of support now lies buried beneath a chaotic legal circus, where spectacle has overtaken substance. The shift serves as a stark reminder that when personal loyalty collides with accountability, clinging to outdated alliances can carry consequences far more damaging than temporary backlash. It can jeopardize credibility, professional standing, and an entire career. Notably, Taylor had no prior knowledge of any meeting involving Justin Baldoni and was reportedly introduced to him only once, underscoring how far removed she was from the core conflict. In this context, Taylor Swift's deliberate decision to distance herself is clearly about safeguarding her legacy from the fallout of baseless theatrics and narratives. Unraveling under scrutiny. At the heart of this unfolding saga lies a high-stakes legal battle with the potential to reshape how Hollywood handles disputes fueled by sensationalism, influence, and overblown claims. Justin Baldoni's legal team has drawn a firm line, making it clear that if Blake Lively refuses to settle, Taylor Swift could be called to testify, placing the truth under the unforgiving scrutiny of a courtroom rather than the court of public opinion. This is not about settling personal scores in public or manufacturing drama for attention, but about protecting the integrity of the creative process and ensuring that manipulative tactics do not go unchallenged. For Baldoni's team, the case represents a defining clash between talent, professionalism, and ethical integrity versus inflated narratives and desperate theatrics. The implications extend far beyond a single lawsuit, as the outcome could establish a meaningful precedent for how Hollywood confronts similar conflicts in the future. If individuals are allowed to distort situations and bend rules for personal gain without consequence, it risks opening the door to deeper abuses of power across the industry. Conversely, if accountability and transparency prevail, the case could signal a long overdue shift toward valuing truth, creative merit, and responsibility over spectacle and drama. As one of Hollywood's most explosive legal battles continues to unfold, the lessons emerging from this situation are unmistakably clear. Personal ambition and star power can never outweigh honesty, fairness, and accountability. Taylor Swift's decision to distance herself from Blake Lively is not an act of betrayal or abandonment, but a firm and principled stand rooted in protecting her integrity and long-term legacy. It serves as a powerful reminder that values matter more than headlines, and that sometimes safeguarding one's reputation requires refusing to participate in spectacle-driven narratives. No matter how tempting or attention-grabbing the drama may be, Taylor has made it clear that she had no prior knowledge of any meeting involving Justin Baldoni and was introduced to him only once, underscoring her limited and incidental connection to the situation. From her perspective, Blake's timing of that meeting appears calculated, seemingly arranged so that Taylor would arrive before Justin left, further reinforcing her decision to step back rather than become entangled in circumstances she did not create. This unfolding saga is not merely about a single dispute between high-profile figures, but a revealing snapshot of a broader shift taking place within Hollywood, where creative freedom, transparency, and fairness are increasingly being pushed to the forefront, challenging misguided alliances and attention-driven theatrics that have long dominated the industry. For Justin Baldoni, this fight represents far more than a legal battle tied to one project or one moment. It is a stand against a culture that too often rewards exaggeration, manipulation, and narrative distortion as acceptable tools of influence. The stakes extend well beyond individual careers, as the outcome of this case could force the industry to reconsider how disputes are handled, encouraging a future in which genuine talent is recognized, ethical conduct is valued, and every claim is weighed against concrete evidence rather than the pull of scandal or celebrity clout. Choosing accountability over empty loyalty requires courage, but it also has the potential to reshape celebrity relationships and establish a new standard for professional conduct across Hollywood. At its core, this legal drama is about far more than public controversy or fleeting headlines. It represents a defining moment that could influence the values guiding the entertainment industry for years to come, with Baldoni's unshakable resolve standing as a reminder that integrity should never be sacrificed in the name of star power or sensationalism. Taylor Swift's strategic decision to step away from Blake Lively reinforces a powerful lesson that true loyalty is not about clinging to outdated relationships or standing by someone at all costs, but about protecting one's integrity when it matters most. Her choice highlights the reality that preserving credibility sometimes requires difficult distance, especially when the facts begin to diverge sharply from the narratives dominating the headlines. While Blake's inflated claims may have once commanded attention and shaped public perception, the emerging details increasingly suggest that accountability grounded in verifiable truth carries far more weight than exaggerated drama or emotional spectacle. As this legal battle continues to unfold, Hollywood now finds itself standing at a critical crossroads. Will the industry continue to allow sensationalism, influence, and narrative manipulation to drive outcomes? Or will it finally move toward a new era where genuine talent, fairness, transparency, and ethical conduct define success? Team Justin Baldoni remains resolute in its stance, confident that a healthier and more credible Hollywood can only thrive when substance triumphs over spectacle and when creative integrity is defended without compromise. Their commitment goes beyond winning a single case, as they continue to advocate for a cultural shift where honesty, accountability, and professionalism lead the way rather than attention-seeking theatrics. As this saga progresses, there are almost certainly more revelations, twists, and unexpected developments ahead, each with the potential to further challenge long-standing norms within the industry. So stay tuned, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to make sure you don't miss a single update, because as this drama unfolds, it increasingly proves that in Hollywood, truth and accountability are no longer willing to stay in the shadows and are finally demanding the spotlight.